Gentlemen, in the field defensively for your County Settlers. In right field, number 28, Samuel Wilson. In center, number 2, Turner Hill. In left field, number 6, Dylan Ott.
And we are about ready to go here from Don Edwards Park in game number 27 of this 2018 campaign of the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. Hello, everybody. Ben Murray along with you for the ride. It will be once again the Hamilton Joes and the Licking County Settlers here tonight. We are moments away from first pitch. The pitching matchup tonight will be Luke Torbert versus Grant Williams of the Hamilton Joes. Torbert taking the mound tonight for his 5th start. He's made 6 appearances on the year. Last one was out of the pen in relief. He's thrown 14 innings. He has an 0-2 record, 5.14 ERA, giving up 9 runs, 12 hits, 17 strikeouts, and 9 walks for the 6-20 Licking County Settlers. On the other bump, for the Hamilton Joes, Grant Williams, he's 1-0 this season. That one win was against Licking County about a week or so ago. He has a 1.68 ERA. This will be his first start of the season. He has made 5 appearances out of the bullpen, thrown 10 2/3 of an inning, has only given up 2 runs on the season, 13 hits, 8 strikeouts, and 4 walks for the 12-15 Hamilton Joes. Licking County in last place in the Southern Division. They trail Xenia for that bottom spot just by 2 games. Hamilton, on the other hand, 4th place, fighting for a playoff spot. Right now they are currently 2 games out of the playoff picture behind the Galian Graders. So big game for the Hamilton Joes here tonight. The defense behind starting pitcher Luke Torbert. In left field will be Dylan Ott, center field Turner Hill, and in right, Sam Wilson. First to third, Nathan Dill, Jackson Kerb, Eddie Pena, Miguel Pimentel, and for the 2nd game in a row will be Adam Mays behind the dish with catching duties. Cale Baker not here at the moment. He's on college visits, and then as we said yesterday, Chad Harper no longer with the team, so it will be Mays catching for the 2nd consecutive game. Starting batting order for the Hamilton Joes, Trey Compton to lead it off in left field. Shortstop Justin McConnell batting 2nd. Griffin Dorshing at first base and batting 3rd. Chris Hamilton, one of the only changes from the lineup last night, DH and batting 4th. Chandler Miller batting 5th and playing 2nd. Batting 6th will be the 3rd baseman Jared Kaufman. Michael Hall behind the plate and batting 7th. Anthony Bell will be in right and batting 8th. And to round out the batting order, Tyler Thaman in center field. Luke Torbert has faced this Hamilton Joe team once before. Was the last decision he had. Last time we saw him was against Irish Hills on July the 7th. 4 innings out of the pen, an 8-3 victory against the Leprechauns. He starts off Trey Compton with a fastball low for ball number 1. Torbert against Hamilton through 5 innings, 4 runs, 3 earned, 6 hits. As he misses up and in with the fastball, 2 balls and no strikes to the right-handed hitting Compton. 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. Wasn't at all a bad outing by Luke Torbert. That was the 5-0 loss. So he misses one more time, 3 balls and no strikes to Compton. Wasn't a bad outing by any stretch of the imagination. The team only had 5 base runners the entire game. They couldn't get the offense going. 3-0 inside. It's a 4-pitch walk. as Torbert starts off Compton with a walk. Compton over on first base. That'll bring Justin McConnell to the plate now. McConnell, the right-handed hitting Wright State Raider. Last night, McConnell was 2 for 5 with a single, a double, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. You'd be hard-pressed to find anybody in the lineup that didn't have an RBI. Hamilton had a big fourth inning. They sent 11 hitters to the plate. That was really the difference in the game. The Settlers did lose 7-3. Almost all of those runs coming with 2 outs as Torbert checks on Compton over at first base. He will slide back in safely. Running game wasn't too big of a factor for the Hamilton Joes. Only attempted 2 stolen bases. Were successful with one of those. Mays did throw one of the runners out as the bunt laid down the first base line. That's going to stay in fair play. Mays picks it up, throws to first, and will be in time over to Nathan Dill at first base. McConnell gets the sacrifice bunt down. A good play by Mays, hopping out of his stance and throwing out the speedster in McConnell. Compton will move over to second base as Griffin Dorshing, the number 3 hitter, will come to the batter's box now. Dorshing, the big right-handed hitter, 6'4", 275, Greendale, Wisconsin native. Last night, Griffin had an RBI double off the left field wall. That was the only hit he had, however. He was 1 for 5. He only has 2 hits in 3 games against Licking County. He struggled against Licking County pitchers. He faced Luke Torbert a few times in that 5-0 loss. Against Torbert, he was 0 for 2 with a walk. Did have a strikeout too. Torbert gave him a steady diet of breaking balls. We'll see if he starts with that here. Right by Dorshing, blows by the fastball for strike 1. Dorshing batting just a hair under 300 for the season. He does lead the entire Great Lakes Collegiate League in home runs, has 8 of them on the season. Also has 7 doubles. Big, powerful right-handed hitter from Northern Kentucky University. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss once again. Torbert goes to the breaking ball. He's ahead of Griffin Dorshing. No balls and 2 strikes. Wind blowing out to right center field. It's a beautiful night for baseball, 82 degrees. Wind about 7 miles per hour, blowing towards the north. Here's the 0-2 to Dorshing inside. That one actually hit Dorshing. As time will be called, Dorshing throws his bat towards the dugout. No 2-pitch, runs a little bit too far inside as Dorshing will trot over to first base. That will put runners at first and second base here for the Joes with 1 out in the top of the first inning. Compton on second base with the walk. Dorshing now on first after the hit by pitch. Chris Hamilton will be the batter now. Hamilton did not play in the game last night. Did start the first 2 games against these 2 teams. He was 3 for 10. Hamilton and Anthony Bell, the only 2 players in this lineup that did not start last night. Bell, however, did enter the game after Addison Coffey was ejected. First pitch from Torbert, fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Hamilton and Torbert did face off the last time these 2 teams played. Hamilton had a big RBI, just a big single, 2-out single in that first inning. That was a 2-run first inning. Dorshing had the 2 RBI home run. That all happened with 2 outs. The Joes against Licking County as Torbert throws a ball in the dirt. Joes against Licking County have done a real good job with 2 outs, scoring their runs. Last night we saw it, 6 out of 7 runs were scored with 2 outs. All 5 in the 4th inning were all with 2 outs. There's a 1-1. This one hit hard into right field. That one will get down and go to Wilson. Compton being waved around from third. Wilson will come up throwing, but cut off by Dill. And the Hamilton Joes are on the board here in the first inning. They take a 1-0 lead off the RBI single by Chris Hamilton. Continues to hit the ball very hard against this Licking County pitching staff. Dorshing over to second base. And of course, Hamilton on first as they lead 1-0 here early on. Chandler Miller will be the batter now. Miller last night had 2 hits. He was 2 for 5. Also had a couple of RBIs. Curveball misses high to Chandler Miller. First inning against Hamilton last time for Torbert. Gave up 2 runs. That was the most he'd give up in an inning. So he bounces back and evens the count with the fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Hamilton against Luke Torbert. Scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Swing and a miss. Now by Chandler as Torbert jumps ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Torbert was dominant against the Irish Hills Leprechauns on the 7th. 4 innings, no runs, 1 hit. She did get the save as well. 1 walk and 6 strikeouts. He faced 15 hitters. Curveball, swing and a miss, and Torbert has his first strikeout on the day as he retires Chandler Miller with the off-speed pitch. Miller goes down and now represents the 2nd out here in the first inning as Torbert now 1 out away from ending this first inning. Jared Kaufman, the batter, standing in his way. Kaufman, right-handed hitter from Waynesville, Ohio, plays at Eastern Michigan University. He was 2 for 4 last night with a hit by pitch, a single, and a double. The 5'10", 170-pound right-handed batter. First pitch from Torbert, curveball inside, called strike 1. Home plate umpire Mark Oppenheimer, and on the bases tonight will be Grant Hutcherson. Dorshing on second base and Hamilton over at first. 2 outs. Top 1. Fastball misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Kaufman. Kaufman kind of broke out of a slump last night. As entering the game, he only had 1 hit in his last 4 games. Had 2 last night. Fouled off right back to the backstop. One actually might ricochet and hit the umpire. Nope, just misses him. Beware, you get some weird bounces off the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs, top 1. Hamilton leads the Licking County Settlers 1-0. Torbert gets his sign, checks Dorshing over on second, now delivers the 1-2. Inside, nearly hits Kaufman in the head. That one got away from Luke Torbert. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Torbert did have 3 hit by pitches in the first outing against these Hamilton Joes. Has 1 already here tonight. Here's a 2-2. Fastball tapped to the right side, but foul. And we will do the 2-2 once again. Good pitch by Torbert. Kaufman just waving his bat, trying to make contact and stay alive against the righty from Kennesaw State. Torbert listed at 6'2", 170 pounds. Will be a sophomore at Kennesaw State University here upcoming in the fall. Here's the 2-2. Fastball taken low, just missing was Torbert. This count will now run full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners will get a head start on the base pass. Dorshing on second, Hamilton on first for the Joes. They lead 1-0 in this ball game. Payoff pitch inside. That's going to hit the batter once again. Second hit by pitch surrendered by Luke Torbert. Would have been ball 4 regardless. It did get past catcher Adam Mays. Torbert still just needs only 1 more out to get out of this first inning. Taking off his shin guards and coming to plate now will be the starting catcher, Michael Hall. Hall did play in the game last night, but as the designated hitter, was 2 for 4, had a pair of singles, a run scored, and a walk. He could really break this game open if he can get a single. Bases are packed with Joes. 2 outs in the top of the first inning. Hall represents the 7th batter that Torbert has faced here in the first. Fastball right down the middle for strike number 1. Michael Hall, Mason, Ohio, native, 5'10", 197 pounds. Plays his collegiate baseball at the University of Montevideo in Alabama. Hitting about 220 on the season. As he rolls over out of play to the left side. Torbert quickly ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Does have 1 strikeout in this inning. That was Chandler Miller. Started off the inning with a walk to Compton. Got a sacrifice bunt by Justin McConnell. Then a hit Griffin Dorshing, a single to Chris Hamilton, then scored Compton, a strikeout of Miller, and then the hit by pitch of Kaufman as time is called by the batter in Michael Hall. So he finds himself down, no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the starting pitcher, Luke Torber. The 0-2. Misses low and outside. Not a bad spot by Torber, just trying to see if he can get Michael Hall to chase. Torber takes a breath, now comes set. Here's the 1-2. Right down the middle, strike number 3. That one looking. 2 strikeouts in the inning for starting pitcher Luke Torber. Does surrender 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and 3 left on base for the Joe. Settlers coming to bat for their first crack at starting pitcher Grant Williams. They trail 1-0.
Catching for the Joes this evening, number 12, Michael Hall, and on the mound, number 37, Grant Williams. Starting your Lincoln County Settlers off this evening, right fielder number 28, Mr. Sam Wilson.
Licking County coming to bat for the first time here today. They trail the Hamilton Joes by a score of 1-0 on the bump. Grant Williams as he starts. Sam Wilson off first pitch outside for ball number 1. Grant Williams did come in relief the first time these two teams squared off in the first series. In that 9-4 victory, he actually got the win. He's 1-0 as Wilson taps it right back to Williams. He picks it up and underhand flip over to Dorshing at first base for out number 1. Very quickly, a 1-3 put out to start off the bottom of the first inning for the Licking County Settlers. Williams 1-0 on the season, 1.68 ERA. This will be his first start, his 6th appearance overall. 10 2/3, 2 runs, 13 hits, 8 strikeouts, and 4 walks against Licking County last time. 2 2/3, gave up a run, 2 hits, and 2 strikeouts. Faced 10 batters out of the pen, and he will have to deal with Miguel Pimentel. Pimentel takes first pitch, fastball low for a ball. Pimentel, along with 2 other Licking County Settlers, named to the 2018 All-Star team. It'll be Pimentel, Johnny Putnam, and John McCauley representing Licking County. He misses outside for ball 2. Big honor for those 3. Been very consistent for Licking County all season. Pimentel right around 350 batting average on the season as that pitch misses up and out for ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Pimentel 1 for 4 in the game last night. He owns a 5-game hit streak right now. Here's a 3-0 fastball. Just misses up. That'll be a 4-pitch walk to Miggy as he will get aboard for the first runner of the game for Licking County. That'll bring Dylan Ott to the plate now. Ott batting in the 3-hole tonight. Following him will be Roberts, Dill, Turner Hill, Jackson Curb, Adam Mays, and Eddie Pena to round out the batting order for Licking County. Dylan Ott 1 for 4 in the game last night. He comes up with Miguel Pimentel over on first base. First pitch right down the middle for strike number 1. Settlers, blue tops, white scripted Settlers right across the front, goes with their gray pants. Red hats with the blue bills. Hamilton, black jerseys. Williams, curveball over for a strike, and Dylan Ott down 0-2. Black jerseys for the Joes, says Hamilton right across the front. Black hats with black bills and gray pants. Going to be your uniform combinations for the two teams. Here's the 0-2 to Dylan Ott. Sticks out his bat, shoots it back up the middle, caught by McConnell. The shortstop throws to first, and not in time as Ott goes down on a line out to the shortstop McConnell. Good play by him, ranging up the middle to make that play, and retiring Dylan Ott for the second out of the bottom of the first inning. Garrett Roberts stepping to the plate now. Roberts 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs in the game last night. Had a 2-out, 2 RBI double that gave Licking County a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the third inning. That one hits him right in the left bicep. First pitch runs a little bit too far inside as Roberts has a smirk on his face after taking that one right off the left bicep. And he will be aboard. Runners at first and second. Now for Licking County, Nathan Dill will be the batter. Dill starting at first base. Only played in 1 game against these two teams. That was on the 4th of July. Dill was 1 for 4 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Did not play in the game last night. At the 9-off, now comes up with a runner in scoring position in Pimentel. Pimentel on second, Roberts on first. First pitch from Williams, curveball over for strike number 1. Dill 6'4", 220, goes to Butler University, batting .216 on the season. Has 11 hits, 2 doubles, and 4 RBIs. Could make it 5 here if he can get one through the infield. Curveball once again taken for a strike by Dill, and he falls behind 0-2 in the count. Dill, the right-handed batter from Fort Collins, Colorado. The 0-2. Curveball once again popped up into shallow right field. Anthony Bell coming on and will make the catch for out number 3. Settlers get a pair of runners on base, but not able to do anything with it as they will strand 2 runners in the bottom of the first inning. We'll go to the second. Hamilton up 1-0.
Focus your eyes down there towards the front of the Settlers dugout. Looks like they have some busy batting contestants. From what Julie said, she has a few. I believe they're might be doing 2 rounds. Julie, what you got going on down there?
We're actually going to do 1 round today, Tony, and the first place will receive a baseball signed by our team, and then second place gets 2 balls with the tennis ball toss at the top of the 6th. All right, guys, so if you can make a line right in front of me, you're going to put your head to your back, go around it 10 complete circles. Oh, you guys back here. 10 complete circles, then you're going to run down the crease, run back to me. All right, on your mark, get set, go!
He is moving, folks. Look at that. Negative, come back. I think Negative has done this before. We got a few that are going off center. All right, be right where balls for it. Got 2 good. Go ahead and check that kid to Red's ID. He's pretty fast.
Top of the second inning, getting ready to get underway here from Don Edwards Park in Newark, Ohio. It's the Hamilton Joes 1 and the Licking County Settlers nothing, as Luke Torbert back on the mound for the Settlers. He will face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, starting with Anthony Bell, as Bell takes fastball right down the middle for strike number 1. Bell was inserted into the game in the bottom of the 5th inning of yesterday's game after third baseman Addison Coffey was ejected. He takes low and outside for ball 1. Coffey was at third base, but Kaufman was in right field. Kaufman then went to third, and Bell went into right. Last night he was 0 for 2. Got into a double play and popped up. Curveball taken for a strike. And Torbert ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's a little bit of a laboring first inning for Luke Torbert, but escaped only conceding a single run. So a win for the Settlers as Bell sticks his bat out and fouls it out of play to stay alive. Torbert faced 7 batters, struck out 2 of them, only gave up 1 hit. He hit 2 batters and walked another. 3 free base runners given up to the Hamilton Joes. Here's the 1-2. This one flipped into shallow right field. Wilson not going to be able to get that one, and Bell will be aboard with a leadoff single. Bell by no means hit that one right on the buttons. Might have actually got jammed on it and just kind of muscled it out to shallow right field. Sam Wilson out there in right just didn't even have a play on it. It was hit very, very shallow. Bell will be on first base, and the number 9 hitter and center fielder, Tyler Thaman, will be the batter now. Thaman also started last night, 2 for 5 with 2 singles, RBI and a run score. He squares to bunt and gets it down to the third baseman, Pimentel. Pimentel goes to first base to retire Thaman for out number 1. So very much like the top of the first inning, Joes get their first man aboard, sacrifice him over, and now have a runner in scoring position with only 1 out. Top of the order now in Trey Compton. He walked his first at bat. Saw 4 pitches, all of them out of the strike zone, and he represents the only run scored today by either team. First pitch from Torbert. Swing and a miss by Compton. Gets past Adam Mays, the catcher. That ball was in the dirt. Anthony Bell will jog into third base. Compton did go around on the swing. Torbert going to the breaking ball. Mays just not able to catch it before it hit the dirt. Skips past him to the backstop. And now Hamilton at 90 feet away from extending its 1-0 lead. 0-1 taken fastball down the middle for strike 2. Torbert trying to hunker down and strand a runner over at third base. Stranded 3 in the first inning, left the bases loaded. Here's the 0-2. Just misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Torbert, when he gets up, 0-2, 1-2, has been trying to paint that outside corner. That has anything to do with he has hit 2 batters today as well. 1-2 hit on the ground through the hole in the left side, and that will be an RBI single for Compton as Anthony Bell touches home plate and scores the 2nd run of the game for the Hamilton Joes. Compton put a good piece on that one, hit it right in the hole between Pena and Pimentel. Really no play for either of them. That will be another RBI single here for this Hamilton Joe roster. That was the area they put, I would say, at least half of their base hits in the game last time, was right between that 5-6 hole. Justin McConnell, the batter, now sacrifice bunt in his first at-bat, swings through a fastball by Torbert for strike 1. Compton in back-to-back games has RBIs now. That was RBI number 10 on the season as he brought Anthony Bell around to score. So the leadoff single comes back to bite the Settlers. They now trail 2-0. Mays trying to throw down to first base off the ball low and outside, but not in time to Compton. McConnell now faces 1-1 count. Here with 1 out in the top of the 2nd inning, Hamilton leads Licking County 2-0. McConnell, 6'1", 180 from Springboro, Ohio. And just under 300 on the season. Checks his swing. He did go around, says home plate umpire Mark Oppenheimer. And McConnell now down 1-2. Hamilton does a good job not only with 2 outs, but 2 strikes as well. You saw Compton down 1-2, just RBI single. Anthony Bell, 1-2 count. He singled as well in this inning. Even last night, when Hamilton's guys, Storbert checks on Compton over at first, not in time. Hamilton's batters, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Doesn't matter, they look pretty comfortable up on the plate. They mashed out 14 hits in the game last night as Storbert checks once again, and not in time. Compton did not attempt a stolen base in the game last night. Hamilton in the 3 games these 2 teams have played have out-hit the Settlers 29-22. Swing and a miss by McConnell. That's strikeout number 3 by Luke Torbert as he now puts 2 outs up on the scoreboard here in the top of the 2nd inning. Griffin Dorshing, the batter now. Dorshing was hit by an 0-2 pitch in inning number 1. Was later stranded on 3rd base. Dorshing hasn't had a whole lot of success against Luke Torbert. These 2 teams faced off for the first time. Dorshing was 0 for 2 with a walk. So he's walked in, was hit by a pitch by Torbert. Torbert starts him off with a fastball on the outside corner for strike number 1. Dorshing again in, we'll say 3 games, only has 2 hits, a double and a home run. The 0-1 fouled off right back to the backstop, and once again Dorshing down, no balls and 2 strikes. Torbert, this was the count that he ran a little bit too far inside on Dorshing, hit him. I'm gonna say in the jersey, maybe on the sleeve. I wasn't entirely sure that it did hit him, but ball was called dead by the home plate umpire, and Griffin was awarded first base. We'll see what Luke Torbert goes to Dorshing here now. 0-2 delivery, runner goes right back up the middle, but right at Jackson Curb as he fields it on a 1-hop, going to cover 2nd and throws to 1st for out number 3. Right place at the right time was Jackson Curb, and that will retire the side in the top of the 2nd inning. 1 run does come around to score on 2 hits. 1 runner left on base. Licking County coming to bat in the bottom of the 2nd. They trail 2-0.
At this time, Licking County Settlers would like to thank their sponsors for sponsoring the 2018 Licking County Settlers. Newark Moose Lodge, Raising Kings, Explorer LC, Falcon Retail Marketing, Excel Dryer, Chad Ogle, LMH, Donaldson Real Estate, Mayor Jeff Hall, The McLean Company, Insurance Lawn Sensations, Creeder Company, Local Roots Lawn Care, The Draft House, Park National Bank, Sharon Brook, Wilson Shannon and Snow, Layton Services, Shaw Mechanical, Network 9, SES Mechanical and Automation, McCune Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Texas Roadhouse, Tritium Solutions, Lux Showcase, KMA Electric, and Heating and Cooling, JetBlue Construction, Calisera Law, Faux Flooring, Mid-Ohio Development, Christy and Judy Cunningham, Dr. Curian, Rep Local Mark Hawk, the Bogus Family, Havenwood Group, Glen Libby Remax, Keener Roofing, and Hickman Barbershop. Thank you for your support of the 2018 Licking County Settlers. Now, batting for your Settlers. Number 2, Turner Hill.
Good crowd on hand tonight as the Hamilton Joes square off with the Licking County Settlers. Joes lead 2-0 as we get the bottom of the 2nd underway. Turner Hill, Jackson Curb, and Adam Mays due up. Face up against Grant Williams. Hill takes the ball in the dirt. Now for ball number 1. Have representation from the Settler 12U and 11U teams. Both were on the field pre-game. Hill takes another ball in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Recognizing both teams' achievements on the season, both teams had real good records as Hill lines this one right into center field. That one will get down for the first base hit today for Licking County. Turner Hill starts off the bottom of the second the best way you can. Lines one right over the shortstop's head in McConnell. And he is aboard once again. That's 7 straight games with a hit for Turner Hill as he has been swinging one of the hotter bats on this Licking County Settler roster. Jackson Kerb digging in now. Kerb was a late scratch from the game last night. He was initially in the lineup, but a couple minutes before the game started, they did take him out. He has been battling some pain in his throwing arm. Been talking to his trainers at Belmont. They told him just to rest a little bit as he is coming off of Tommy John surgery. He's in the lineup tonight. And we'll see what he can do. First pitch from Williams, checks his swing. He did not go around. That pitch misses high. Kerb was 0 for 5 on the 4th of July against these two teams. He's only 2 for 20 on the season. Hasn't played in a whole lot of games, again, due to some arm issues. But his last game that he started against Irish Hills was 2 for 5, had 2 hits. He shoots this one right at the shortstop. McConnell on the one hop. There's one over to first and in time. That will be a double play. So the single by Turner Hill to start this inning off negated as Kerb hits it hard, but right at the shortstop, McConnell, and that will start the 6-4-3 double play. And just like that, Licking County, nobody on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the second as Adam Mays will be the batter now. Mays got his first start in the batting order last night. He's really the only player on Licking County with catching experience. First pitch from Williams misses low for ball 1. Mays had told the coaching staff when he had Garrett Roberts go in back against Southern Ohio, he did have catching experience. Of course, he couldn't go in as he chops this one slowly to the shortstop. High chopper for McConnell. Fields it on the run and makes the throw. A very unconventional and quick 1-2-3 inning for Grant Williams. And just like that, the Settlers back in the dugout as we go to the third. 2-0, Hamilton leads.
I'd like to thank our host families for opening up their homes for our Licking County Settler baseball team and a few interns this year. Our host families this year are Jane and Mike McDonald, Jim and Crystal Falk, John Morrow and Michelle Summersby, PJ and Amalia Lyons, Trevor and Brooke Donaldson, Tina Bell, Chad and Myra Gamble, Valerie and Steve Diedrich, Dave Douglas, and Stacy and Scott Bowman. Thank you so much for opening up your house for this year's Licking County Settler. Settlers number 22, Jimmy White Shoes Button. Christian Johnny.
Pitching change here for Licking County in the top of the third inning. Johnny Putnam will take the bump now. Putnam making his second appearance out of the bullpen. He got a save against Xenia back on July the 1st. He has started 5 games on the season, 6 appearances. As I said, has a save. Owns an 0-2 record, 2.64 ERA, 34 innings pitched, 30 strikeouts, 10 walks, and 31 hits with a 5'11", 185-pound right-handed thrower from Otterbein College. There was talks before the game that this might happen. That was the plan, that would bring Putnam out of the bullpen as opposed to starting him. He's had a number of excellent starts this year, does not have a win. Of course, still named to the All-Star team this year, as he owns one of the better ERAs in the entire Great Lakes League this summer. The Settlers' thinking was, instead of starting him, we will have him finish the game, hopefully, just to avoid any late inning collapses that Putnam has been a part of before. Putnam would normally go very deep into the game, 6-7 innings, and then see the lead evaporate as he starts off with a ball to Chris Hamilton, the designated hitter. Hamilton did have an RBI single in the first inning. That was the first run scored of the ball game for the Hamilton Joes. Putnam tries to go back out there one more time, but misses on the outside corner once again. 2 balls, no strikes. Final line on Luke Torbert. He went 2 innings, gave up 2 runs, 1 in each of the innings as Hamilton hits this high and deep to right field. This one might have a chance, but gonna go foul, as it had the distance, just hooked it a little bit too much to the right side of the right field foul pole. Hamilton hitting that one very hard. He has 4 home runs on the season. He was looking for number 5. 2-1 popped up out of play to the right side, and Putnam bounces back 2 balls and 2 strikes. So final stat line on Torbert: 2 innings pitched, 2 runs, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 2 hit by pitches. First inning only had 1 hit, but 1 run did come around. Torbert did strand the bases loaded, so just kind of assume Robbie Howell had seen enough, as Hamilton was putting base runners on base against Luke Torbert, but thankfully enough for them, only scored 2 runs. This one grounded to Jackson Curb, comes charging in. Weird hop, underhand flip to Dill at first, and in time. First batter Johnny Putnam faces, gets him to roll over to Curb at second base for out number 1. Chandler Miller will step into the batter's box now. Miller was a strikeout victim by Luke Torbert in the first inning. He was the second out. Came up with runners on first and second base. That was the first strikeout by Luke Torbert, one of 3 he had on the day. Miller, a right-handed hitter from Panama City Beach, Florida. Traveled a long way to play his summer collegiate baseball. However, does go to school in Nashville, Tennessee, so maybe split the distance a little bit. First pitch from Putnam, high and inside for ball 1. Plays at Trevecca Nazarene University, a Division II school that's in Nashville, Tennessee. Started 42 games this past season. Popped up in the infield, Curb giving chase into shallow right field. He will settle under it and retire Chandler Miller for the second out. 2 up and 2 down for the right-hander Putnam. He will now face Jared Kaufman. Kaufman was hit by a pitch in the first inning. That was to load the bases. Torbert would then get Michael Hall, who's in the on-deck circle, 2 strikeout looking to end the inning. Kaufman last 5 games, 3 for his last 16. Had 2 hits in the game last night. First pitch from Putnam right down the middle, strike number 1. Putnam's a guy that's going to come in. He's going to throw a lot of strikes. He'll strike out a plethora of batters as well. That's just under 1 strikeout in each inning. As this check swing, right to Nathan Dill at first base. He'll pick it up and step on first base for out number 3. A 3 unassisted to Nathan Dill at first base. Putnam comes out of the pen, goes 1-2-3 in the top of the 3rd inning. Licking County coming to bat. They trail by 2.
Settlers dugout. We're going flat aisles and 50 tickets. Yeah, 50 tickets, yeah.
Bottom three, Hamilton Joes lead the Settlers 2-0. Joes 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors. Settlers no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. Looks like there's going to be a change out in the field. Not a defensive change. New first base coach for Licking County. TJ Lyons apparently not going to come out for the bottom of the third. John McCauley over in the first base coach's box as Eddie Pena pops up the first pitch he sees into shallow center field. 3 Joes giving chase, and it will be Feynman who makes the catch. 1 pitch and 1 out as Eddie Pena begins the bottom of the third inning with a fly out to center field. Now top of the order for Licking County and Sam Wilson. Sam only saw 2 pitches in his first at-bat. He rolled over to the pitcher in Grant Williams. Wilson was 1 for 5 with a run scored last night. He's running an 8-game hit streak right now. He's looking to extend that here tonight. Maybe pay a visit to newly appointed first base coach John McCulley, newly appointed All-Star as well, one of the 3 All-Stars for Licking County this season as Wilson starts off with a fastball inside for a strike. Wanted to comment, Robbie Howell and TJ Lyons sporting some new all-white batting practice jackets here today. Wilson takes outside for ball 1. They look pretty fresh and clean out there. Going with the white batting top and the gray pants. Just know it's a matter of time before those get some dirt on them as Wilson fouls off to the left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Only a matter of time before get a little bit of dirt on them, get a little scuffed up, and they are no longer the pearly whites. Robbie Howell actually took batting practice here today before the game. Last ball that he hit went over the left field fence. Wilson takes in the dirt for ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Asked him about it before the game. Said he usually takes batting practice about once a year just to prove to himself he can still hit the ball over the fence. It was a cool sight for him. Kaso Bozic, she had his little brother out here taking some batting practice. His family is in town for a couple games. Little brother, 12 years old. A couple screaming line drives off of TJ Lyons as Wilson takes that pitch right off the left elbow, and he will head down to first base to first base coach John McCulley. Settlers get a man aboard here with 1 out in the bottom of the third inning. They trailed by 2 as here is one of those 3 All-Star selections for Licking County in Miguel Pimentel. Pimentel walked in his first at-bat. He's looking to extend his 5-game hit streak. Walked on 4 straight pitches, the only walk given up by starting pitcher Grant Williams. This one grounded to the third baseman. Kaufman, good pick, starts the double play for 1 and over to first. Not sure if they tagged him safe. It was a great job by Pimentel to evade the tag by Griffin Dorshing. The throw from second baseman Miller pulled Dorshing off the bag from my angle. I believe that he missed it as well, but they're going to have a conference on between the umpires and call him out. A good effort by Miguel Pimentel, but he still will go down. And the Settlers go down very quietly once again here in the bottom of the third. They do get a run around base in Wilson, but the 5-4-3 double play will end the third inning. We go to the top of the fourth. Joe's 2, Settlers nothing. We've played 3 from Don Edwards Park here in Newark, Ohio. It's the Hamilton Joes 2 and the Licking County Settlers nothing. Top of the 4th and ready to get underway. Johnny Putnam back out on the mound for the Settlers in his 2nd inning of relief appearance. He'll have the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the Joes. Michael Hall, the catcher, will be batter number 1 against Putnam. Strike fastball right down the middle by Putnam. Putnam retired the 3 batters in a row in the 3rd inning. A ground out, a pop out, and a ground out. So he gets a check swing. Yes, he did go. Says home plate umpire Mark Oppenheimer. No balls and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting catcher in Michael Hall. Hall was a strikeout looking victim in his first at-bat. That was one of 3 strikeouts put up by starting pitcher Luke Torbert. Only went 2 innings. Curveball in the dirt. Good block by Mays. There's nobody on, but Mays getting some good practice in case anybody does happen to reach. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. Beautiful night for baseball. Starting temperature was right around 82 degrees. Couldn't ask for a better day as Putnam, strike number 3, painted the outside corner. And Michael Hall goes down looking for the 2nd time today. That's strikeout number 1 by the right-hander and all-star selection, Johnny Putnam. Anthony Bell, the right fielder, will be the batter now. Bell singled in the 2nd inning and later came around to score. That was the 2nd run of the game for the Hamilton Joes. So he'll dig into the right-handed batter's box. Fouls off. First pitch from Johnny Putnam for strike number 1. Looking around the league, some scores going on right now. There is a final as Galen and St. Clair from Heights Park are playing a doubleheader. St. Clair took the first game 1-0. This ball lifted high into center field. Turner Hill goes back about 5 steps now over to his left and makes the catch, battling a little bit of wind. It's blown out toward right center. But nonetheless, Bell gets way under that one and pops it up to Turner Hill out in center field for out number 2. Tyler Thaman, the center fielder, will be the batter now. Right-handed hitter from Miami University, Hamilton. A sacrifice bunt in his first at-bat in the 2nd. First pitch from Johnny Putnam. This one popped up shallow right field. Wilson coming out and curve, but it'll be Wilson calling him off and making the catch. A very quick inning number 2 for Johnny Putnam out of the bullpen. As he goes 3 up and 3 down once again. Licking County still scoreless. They trail 2-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know the season isn't over yet, but we do have an intern that has to get back to school. If you look to the left here in front of Settlers dugout, we have the host family, Grace Bean. The host family is Steve and Valerie Diedrich. And Grace has mentioned many times how Steve and Valerie have literally opened up their home to her and been such great people. Just she's very appreciative of the time she's got to spend here. She's one of our interns that's living with the host family. And I know she really appreciated what they've done for her here. And Grace came up here not knowing anybody, and they really opened their arms for Grace. And thank you, Steve and Valerie, for opening up your home. That's what host families are all about. Opening up their homes, giving players a nice place to stay, feel like they're wanted around. It's great to have host families like Steve and Valerie. And Grace, have a great year at Ohio University.
.345 due up for Licking County in the bottom of the 4th inning. They trail the Hamilton Joes by a score of 2-0. Dylan Ott, Garrett Roberts, and Nathan Dill are due up. No hits between the 3 of them thus far in their 2nd time up against starting pitcher Grant Williams. Williams has dominated 1 time through the lineup. He's only allowed 3 base runners, but has gotten 2 double plays. Ott fouls off the first pitch back to the backstop for strike number 1. Dylan Ott lined out to the shortstop McConnell in his first at-bat. 1 inside, just misses hitting Dylan and taken for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike to the right-handed Helensville, Wisconsin native. 1-1 misses outside. That was a fastball low and out for ball 2. Ott 1 for 4 in the game last night. Despite not batting as well as he started, he takes a strike to even the count at 2. Still owns a 4-game hit streak right now. Just been kind of scattering base hits left and right. He's 6 for his last 20, so maybe starting to heat up a little bit more. He's batting right around 500 at one point this season. Swing and a miss by Dylan Ott in the dirt. They'll have to make the throw down to first base, and they will, as Ott will be retired on strikes for out number 1 in the bottom of the 4th. Ott fooled by the curveball. That surely would have been ball 3. Unable to lay off. Good block by the catcher, Hall. So he makes the throw down to first base. It's the first strikeout of the day by Grant Williams. So he'll have to deal with Garrett Roberts now. He hit Roberts on the first pitch. The last at-bat starts off outside this time for ball number 1. Roberts 4 for his last 21 in the last 5 games that he has started. 5 RBIs and 5 strikeouts. 2 of those RBIs came in the game last night as he takes in the dirt for ball 2. Curveball got away from Williams once again. Williams, despite not starting a game at all this season for the Hamilton Joes, he has made 12 starts in his collegiate career at Middle Tennessee. Started 7 games his freshman year and 5 games this past year as he gets a swing through by Garrett Roberts. 2 balls and a strike to the big right-hander from Utica, Ohio. Definitely sees more action out of the pen for Middle Tennessee. He's only started 12 out of 27 appearances as Robert fouls out of play. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So throws about 31 innings or so. His walks are actually higher than his strikeouts in college. He's been a little bit better with control here again in the Great Lakes League, and he gets back-to-back strikeouts. Another one swinging as Roberts way out in front of the curveball. And just like that, Williams starts this 4th inning off with 2 strikeouts. First 2 of the game against the Licking County team. Strikes out almost 8 times per game. Hadn't had one until the bottom of the 4th. Now he's got 2. Nathan Dill will dig in. Dill flew out to right field on an 0-2 pitch in the bottom of the 1st inning. First pitch curveball misses inside for ball 1. So despite starting off these Licking County hitters with balls either inside or outside, Williams has been able to bounce back. Not able to bounce back here as he misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes to the big righty from Butler University. Nathan Dill, 6'4", 220. Dill 4 for his last 16 as he swings through that fastball for strike 1. I want to say that Williams has gone 2-0 to all 3 hitters in this inning, but as we know, has struck out 2 of those. Has bounced back after getting down 2-0. See what he does here. Curveball misses inside. 3 balls and a strike now to Dill. Butler this season finished 3rd in the Big East, 34-20 overall record. There's a 3-1. That one low. Ball number 4. Second walk of the day given up by Williams, and Licking County has a runner aboard with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. They still trail by 2. Next up for Licking County, Turner Hill. Turner has the only hit on the day for the Settlers. He singled to start off the bottom of the 2nd, and then was retired on the next hitter on the 6-4-3 double play. First pitch to Turner, that one inside, fastball for ball number 1. Turner extended his hitting streak to 7 games. I would argue he's swinging one of the hotter bats on this team. 8 for his last 22. The 1-0. This one hit right back up the middle again, but right at the center fielder in Thaman for out number 3. Licking County once again gets a runner aboard, but unable to do anything with them as they are held scoreless. Once again, we go to the 5th. Joe's 2, Settlers nothing.
This inning won't be any music or announcing. You just sit back, relax, enjoy the sounds of baseball.
We played 4 here from Don Edwards Park. It's Joe's 2, Settlers nothing. Joe's 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Settlers no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. Johnny Putnam back out for his 3rd inning out of the bullpen. Putnam, through 2 innings of relief work, has thrown only 16 pitches, gone 6 up and 6 down. So he has the top of the order in Trey Compton, starts him off with a ball for ball 1. Putnam not getting the start. The thought process behind that one was that he usually starts the game pretty well and puts everybody in a position. That ball hammered to left field, right on a line. That one's going to bounce on the warning track for Compton as he will go into second base, and Dylan Ott will fire it back in from left field. Second pitch that Trey Compton sees lines it right into the warning track over Dylan Ott's head for a leadoff double here in the top of the 5th inning as Hamilton looks to build on their already 2-0 lead. Compton 2 for 2 on the day. A single and a double. You've thrown a walk and a run scored in there as well. Justin McConnell, the batter now. He's 0 for 1 today. Sacrifice bunt in the 1st inning and a strikeout swinging in the 2nd. This pitch from Putnam. Taking on the inside for strike number 1. McConnell and Dorshing will be the last 2 hitters that have yet to see Johnny Putnam in this game. Luke Torber got the start. Only went 2 innings. This pitch hammered right back up the middle to Turner Hill, and he will make the catch. Compton thinking about tagging, but will go back. Good throw by Turner Hill. One hopped it into Miguel Pimentel, so a wise decision by the base runner in Compton. McConnell hit that one right on the nose, but unfortunately right at, or maybe fortunately, depending on how you look at it, fortunately enough for us, right at Turner Hill. Be out number 1 here in the top of the 5th inning as Big Griffin Dorshing will come to the batter's box now. Dorshing 0 for 1 today, was hit by a pitch in the 1st and grounded out to curb at second base in the 2nd inning. Comes up with an RBI chance here today. Dorshing has 27 RBIs on the season. First pitch from Putnam misses a low for ball 1. We started going over scores in the Great Lakes League about an inning or so ago. Didn't get to finish that one. St. Clair defeated Galeon 1-0 in the game 1 of their doubleheader. Irish Hills and Muskegon just finished up its doubleheader. 4-3 Irish Hills take the victory. Dorshing fouls out of play, 1 ball and 1 strike. Saginaw and Lima in the top of the 4th. Saginaw Sugar Beets lead 3-1. Grand Lake up big on Lake Erie right now in the bottom of the 3rd, 12-0. The bottom of the 3rd inning. Richmond up 2-0 in the top of the 5th on Xenia. Bottom of the 3rd in Cincinnati. Southern Ohio and Cincinnati, that's a big series. Southern Ohio and Cincy about a game, maybe half a game apart from each other in the standings. Griffin Dorshing hits this one on the nose, straight away center. You can forget about that one as Dorshing deposits it way over the center field fence for a 2-run home run. That's Dorshing's leading 9th home run of the season, as that one was just about a no-doubter. Hit it to dead center field right on top of the batting cage beyond the center field wall. Had to have hit that one no less than 400 feet as Dorshing breaks this one open. 4-0 lead here for Hamilton in the top of the 5th inning. Dorshing's 2nd home run against the Settlers. Both have been 2-run bombs. Johnny Putnam had been rolling through his first 2 innings, retired 6 straight. Compton led off with a double, and now Dorshing, the big home run. This time will be called by the new batter, lefty Chris Hamilton. The way Grant Williams is pitching, 4 runs, it almost seems insurmountable. Licking County has been able to get a base runner aboard as Mays and Putnam getting crossed up with their signs. They'll have a meeting on the mound. Licking County has had at least 1 base runner on in every inning. They had 2 on in the bottom of the 1st inning. They've only left 3 runners on base. 2 double plays have negated a couple maybe big innings. You don't really know. 2nd and the 3rd. Double plays proved to be costly as Williams has been locked in. Putnam starts off Hamilton with the ball outside for ball one. This time comes back with a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Going back to the scoreboard. Southern Ohio leads Cincinnati 6-1. Cincinnati at the top of the division right now. They lead by a game and a half. Ball fouled back out of play by Hamilton. He's down 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hamilton has an RBI single in the first and a ground out in the third. This will be the second time around these hitters have seen Johnny Putnam. Here's the 1-2. That one in the dirt. 4 ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Game 2 of the Muskegon and Irish Hills doubleheader. Leprechauns lead the Clippers 5-0. And game 2 of the Galion and St. Clair doubleheader, it's tied 1-1 in the bottom of the third. That is all the scores here tonight. As that ball hit right back up the middle curve, ranges to his right and unable to make the play as he tried to slide and backhand it. That will be the third hit allowed in 4 batters this inning by Johnny Putnam. Something you're just not used to seeing guys hitting Putnam as hard as they have in this inning. He gives up about a hit, just less than a hit per inning. But he's done a great job this year of keeping guys from scoring. Let up a couple guys get on here or there. These Hamilton Joes hitters have really just been locked in as they try to pick off over on first base, but not in time. Next batter will be Chandler Miller, the right-hander hitting second baseman. Miller does not have a hit today. He's 0 for 2. Miller did have 2 hits in the game last night, 2 for 5, 2 singles and 2 RBIs. First pitch from Putnam, that one misses up for ball 1. Putnam got Miller to pop up to curb the first at-bat against these two. Miller a .244 batting average this past season for Trevecca Nazarene University. At 32 hits, he fouls out of play. Putnam bounces back and evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Licking County, this game's kind of giving you deja vu the first time these two teams faced off as Putnam checks on first base once again and Hamilton back in safely. As Licking County really just couldn't get anything going offensively. Yes, they've put on a few more base runners than that game, only 5 base runners in the 9 innings against the Joes. Here tonight they've had about 5 swing and a miss now by Miller for strike number 2. Just kind of seemed like Hamilton put up a couple runs here or there and just kept Licking County out of scoring position. Settlers have had 1 man to reach second base in the game so far. It's the 1-2. Hit a line drive right at Eddie Pena to his right. Tries to make the throw to first, but will bounce in, not in time to Nathan Dill. But out number 2 will be recorded on the line drive to Eddie Pena, the shortstop. Good play by Pena, ranging over to his right-hand side, and retires Chandler Miller. Jared Kaufman, the new batter now. Kaufman 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the first and grounded out to Dill over at first in the 3rd inning. 2 away here in the top of the 5th. 4-0 lead for the Hamilton Joes over the Licking County Settlers. Hamilton looking to stay right in the playoff picture, while Licking County just trying to get out of the loss column as Putnam checks on Hamilton once again, not in time. Licking County losers of 3 straight. Split the series up in Irish Hills. Putnam comes set, first pitch, taken low for a ball. Kaufman, a product of Eastern Michigan University. Eagles this past year, 22-34. Ended their season in the MAC tournament to Toledo. Lost to the Rockets. As Kaufman takes for a strike. Putnam bounces back, 1 ball and 1 strike. Kaufman played a decent amount. Played in 41 games, had 37 hits, 257 average. Here's a 1-1 from Putnam. Chopper to the left side. Pimentel on the third base line, but will be foul, says our home plate umpire. Kaufman will be brought back to the batter's box. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Putnam tries to get out of this 5th inning. Breeze starting to pick up a little bit out towards right center field. Not that it would have mattered on the home run by Griffin Dorshing, the 2-run home run. Or the 2 runs that we saw in this inning. He got all that one. When he swings, too, doesn't even look like he swings that hard, but I tell you what, the ball just flies off his bat when he gets a hold of it. Time called right before Putnam delivered. As Putnam starts his motion, but hangs onto the ball. A lot of coaches will tell their pitchers to even just throw that ball. If you just throw it over the backstop, do that. Sometimes that could be cause for injury as you try to stop your motion after you've already started. Just let her fly and get the ball back and do it over. 1-2 offering right in the outside corner, just misses. I want to say most of the Licking County faithful thought that would be strike number 3. But going to be called 2 balls and 2 strikes. Putnam has a strikeout today, has not given up a walk. 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first base in Hamilton. Right-handed batter in Kaufman at the dish. There's a 2-2. Fouled right back, and he will stay alive. Took a funny hop off the backstop right past the first base dugout by the Hamilton Joes. And we'll do the 2-2 once again. Joes have scored 2 runs in this inning off the 2-run home run by Griffin Dorshing. His 9th home run of the season. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss for strike number 3. Putnam gets his 2nd strikeout of the game. But Hamilton once again able to put a couple runs up on the board. They scored 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We go to the bottom half of the 5th. Joes lead 4-0. Williams back on the mound for the Hamilton Joes here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Hasn't run into too much trouble. Allowed 2 base runners in the 1st inning, but left them both stranded. Double plays in both the 2nd and the 3rd. And stranded another base runner in the 4th. Licking County just not able to get anything going offensively. Only 1 hit. Have walked twice, have been hit by 2 pitches. Jackson Kerr to lead it off. He shoots this one into right field, right at the right fielder, Anthony Bell, however. 1 pitch and 1 out for the right-hander in Kerr. Bring Adam Mays to the dish now. Mays his second consecutive start at catcher. He's probably going to have to be the backup catcher the rest of the season once Cale Baker gets back, as there's only one catcher listed on the roster for Licking County at this point. Mays, his first at bat, grounded out to the shortstop to end the second inning. First pitch, checks his swing, will appeal down to first base. Yes, he did, said the first base umpire, Grant Hutchison. Mays had his first base hit of the season in last night's game. It was a beautiful bunt. He actually went to sacrifice bunt, but it was a perfectly placed ball right down the third base line as he takes for ball one. Perfectly right down the third base line. I'd say about 6 inches off the white chalk. Really couldn't ask for anything much better. 1-1 curveball taken high. Tell you what, Williams has a big looping curveball, but it's been fairly effective. I don't know if it's maybe hard to read, but it seems like it just kind of hangs up there for a long time. Swing and a miss by Mays. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Almost like a slow pitch softball. Maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but just from the angle we have up here, it seems as if it just kind of floats up there. It's the 2-2 from Williams. Curveball once again. Strike number 3 as Mays goes down looking, and very quickly 2 consecutive outs. Here in the bottom of the 5th, Settlers trail 4-0 here, the Hamilton Joes. They have not beaten the Joes in 3 games. Looking to take 1 game here tonight, but it's going to be a long road uphill as Eddie Pena will be the batter now. First pitch from Williams, fastball right down the middle for strike number 1. Pena 0 for 1. First pitch he saw, he flew out into center field for out number 1 in the 3rd inning. Big curveball once again, no balls and 2 strikes now to Pena. Williams has thrown only 8 pitches in this inning. He is dealing. Here's the 0-2. Curveball taken. Strike number 3, back-to-back strikeouts looking. That's strikeout number 4 on the game. And Licking County goes down in order. We go to the 6th. Joe's 4, Settlers nothing.
Out there towards the left field wall. If you do have tennis balls, make your way out to the left field where the hula hoop lady is. Again, if you have tennis balls, please make your way to the left field outside of tennis. Starting out the pitch, number 12, Michael Hall.
Sun continues to set here on Don Edwards Park in Newark, Ohio. Licking County trails the Hamilton Joes 4-0. We are in the top of the 6th inning. Johnny Putnam back out on the mound for the Settlers, and this first pitch drilled into center field by Michael Hall. Going back is Turner Hill. He's at the track. He won't be able to get there as that will bounce off the warning track. Hall into second base, and he will stop there with a leadoff double. Hall hit that one probably about as hard as you can without it going out, right in front of the Glass Guru sign out in right center field. Had to kind of look at the fence to see what that second word was, but it was Glass Guru. It's about 2 signs away from the McDonald's sign. As 1 pitch and a double It's the second consecutive inning we've seen a leadoff double. Trey Compton started off last inning with a double after Putnam had gone 2 straight innings, going 6 up and 6 down. First pitch now into Anthony Bell, taken outside for a ball. Putnam, as we said, cruised through the 3rd and the 4th. He has come out of the bullpen today. 6 up, 6 down, but the 5th inning, Trey Compton led off with a double. Dorshing, 2 batters later, would hit a home run as this ball hit right back up the middle, knocked down by Putnam. He'll go to 1. That's the only play he has. Michael Hall, however, goes into 3rd base. Putnam tried to pick it up and thought about making a play, but just didn't have time. At this point, you just need outs for Licking County. And they will have 1 as Tyler Thaman, the center fielder, will come to the plate now. Thaman does not have a hit today. Sacrifice bunt in the 2nd and a fly out to right in the 4th. Top of the order on deck in Trey Compton. Infield coming in for Licking County. Here's the first pitch. Just misses the outside corner for ball 1. Thaman only a 150, right around 150 batting average on the season. Did have 2 hits last night, however. Had a good night last night. There were a lot of guys that had good nights. He tattoos this one into left field. Ott gets turned around and will not make the play as the ball bounces on the warning track. And Thaman will go to 2nd. Hall will come around to score. And it is now a 5-0 lead here in the top of the 6th inning for the Hamilton Joes, as they have figured out Johnny Putnam. 3rd double he has allowed, 4th extra base hit in almost 4 innings out of the bullpen. Top of the order now for the 4th time here today, Trey Compton. He's 2 for 2 with a walk, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Just filling up the stat sheet is the right-handed hitter from Mount Prospect, Illinois. First pitch from Putnam misses outside. Putnam's been trying to get that outside corner, has not been able to get the call from the home plate umpire. That's how he started, I want to say, all 4 hitters. Maybe not Hall as he hit the first pitch, but everybody else has swung at a 1-0 pitch. Putnam has missed on the outside to the last 3 batters. This one hit hard, and that one shot into left field as Ott comes on. Runner will be held at 3rd. We will have runners at the corners as Trey Compton with his 3rd hit of the night, a 2nd single. So he moves Thaman over to 3rd base. And for the 3rd straight batter, a 1-0 fastball gets absolutely hammered for the 3rd hit of the 6th inning. Justin McConnell, the right-handed hitting shortstop. McConnell does not have a hit today. One of the only ones, really, that doesn't have a hit. McConnell does not have a hit. Miller does not have a hit, and Kaufman does not have a hit. Everybody else has at least one as Putnam misses outside to start off McConnell once again. This has been the problem count for Putnam, 1-0. Last 3 batters have put the ball in play, 1-0. Bell grounded out to Putnam, but the last 2 have reached base in Thaman, who's now at 3rd, and Compton, who's now at 1st. Here's the 1-0. One misses up and out for ball 2. McConnell in his first 3 plate appearances, sacrifice bunt in the 1st, a strikeout in the 2nd, and a fly out to center in the 5th. Two-0 misses low, 3 balls and no strikes this time as called. Mays going out to talk to the all-star in Johnny Putnam. Putnam, his last couple outings, hasn't given up that many runs. He's given up 3 earned here tonight. Last time he gave up more than 2 earned was his first start of the season against Southern Ohio. That was game number 1, a 7-2 loss to the 2nd place Copperheads. Since then, he gives up about 2 earned runs per game as he finally bounces back with a strike to the right-handed McConnell. Cincinnati's team, 3 runs, 2 earned. Xenia Scouts, that was the save opportunity, no runs, no earned. Grand Lake, 2 runs, both earned. Green Giants, 5 runs, 2 earned. Putnam still doesn't have a win yet this season. He's one of the only guys in the leaders in ERA without a win. He gets a foul ball off the shin guard of McConnell. Putnam able to run the count back to full. I haven't looked in a while, so we might want to look at that here when we get a chance, but Putnam was in the top 10 in ERA, and the only guy without a victory. It appears that fact will still be true. The 7th best ERA, runner on first go, his ball rolled over to Pena. He'll have one play, and he boots it, and a run will score right at Pena, but not able to field it. That will be another run scored. Thaman comes in to score. Pena only had one play, but unable to make it. So we will get a meeting on the mound with Johnny Putnam and head coach Robbie Howell. 6-0 ball game in the top of the 6th inning. Licking County this has really gone from bad to worse. You thought after the first 2 innings by Johnny Putnam that he might just roll as he usually does. The 5th inning gave up 2 runs, has given up another 2 runs here in the 6th. McConnell reaches on the air. 3 batters have reached in a row, 4 out of 5 that have come to the plate. And once again, it will be Griffin Dorshing to the plate now. Dorshing 1 for 2, hit by a pitch, and the big 2-run home run in the first at bat against Johnny Putnam in the 5th. So we'll see how Putnam attacks Dorshing this time. It was a 1-1 count to Dorshing. He hit one of the farthest balls that we've seen this season. Right out to center field, just to the right of the 3 flagpoles. Really right over the 2nd and 3rd M for McDonald's, to the right of the center field wall. Putnam from the stretch. First pitch fouled right back. And Putnam starts off with a strike. Started off the last 4 hitters. First pitch, ball's missing the strike zone. Finally gets ahead of a hitter now. Here's the 0-1. Curveball, that one misses. Putnam trying to pull the string on Dorshing, much like Luke Torbert had success with. Going to the curveball against Dorshing, get him to either roll over or pop it up. Putnam not the beneficiary of the call there. So the count will go to 1 ball and 1 strike. Still only 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Runners on first and second base as time is called. Joe's 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the 5th, and 2 in the 6th. They lead 6-0. Here's 1-1. This one hit high. This one's going to stay in the infield. We're going to get an infield fly. Jackson Curb will make the catch, actually drop it. But the infield fly was ineffective. It hit right in the palm of Jackson Curb's glove. Thankfully, infield fly was called. Jackson Curb dropped that one, checking his glove now. But that's a big out number 2. Chris Hamilton, the batter now. Hamilton, he's had a good night, 2 for 3 with 2 singles and an RBI. And the first RBI of the game in the first inning. So he got the night off last night. Fouls off out of play for strike 1. Putnam able to bounce back. The one from Putnam, swing and a miss by the lefty in Hamilton. Hamilton goes to Stony Brook University, a Seawolf. 32-25 year for the Seawolves. They were eliminated by Hartford in the American East Conference Tournament. It was a tough loss to Hartford. They lost to them twice in the tournament. They were 2-1 against them in the regular season. Here's the 0-2 outside for ball 1. It's always tough against a team you've beaten multiple times in the regular season, then get beat by them twice in tournament play. I would imagine most players would trade in those regular season victories for victories in the postseason. Here's the 1-2. Fouled off to the left side. That one will get out of play. So we have a plethora of young fans down there ready for the tennis ball toss. This might be the biggest tennis ball toss we have seen this season by a large margin. So we have two youth Licking County teams here tonight taking in the festivities. They were all recognized on the field in pregame. Looks like they're all going to take part in the tennis ball toss. They're getting their arms warmed up and stretched out. Here's the 1-2 upstairs for ball two. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. 2 runners on base here for the Joes. Compton on second and McConnell on first. Putnam getting 1 more out in the top of the 6th inning. 2-2 offering, curveball out of play once again, and Hamilton able to stay alive. Hamilton putting together pretty good AB, just battling Johnny Putnam. Johnny does have 2 strikeouts on the day today. Has yet to walk anybody. He still has another pitch to play with here to Hamilton before in danger of walking him. So we'll do the 2-2 over again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Joes have left 5 runners on base. Putnam trying to strand 2 more. Here's the pitch. This one hit high to left field. Ott giving chase in foul ground. He's going to go into the bullpen and will get out of play. Good run by Dylan Ott. There's a lot of people down there. We have about half of our Settler staff out in left field hanging out in the bullpen. Again, waiting the big tennis ball toss. Might be a good pot in the tennis ball toss tonight with how many people bought tennis balls. This might be our biggest crowd we've had this season. Of course, we got youth teams out here recognizing them. They're going to bring their mom, their dad, their brother, their sister, grandma, grandpa. Thankfully, they all stayed. Putnam now comes set. The 2-2 once again. Swing and fouled off once again. Putnam continues to pound the strike zone. Just a good battle by the left-handed designated hitter and Chris Hamilton. Hamilton looking for his 3rd hit tonight, quite possibly his 2nd RBI. It was the rally starter in game 1 between these 2 teams a week ago. 2-2 once again. That one misses high and outside. Now the count runs full. Runners will be getting a head start. Compton on second and McConnell over on first. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Putnam comes set, takes a breath, and checks the runner over on second. Here's a payoff pitch, curveball. That one, strike number 3, as Hamilton thought it was ball 4, but Putnam able to come back with the curveball for his 3rd strike. But the Joes do put another 2 runs across the board. They get 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It's a 6-0 game for the Joes.
Right, guys. Ready, set, go. What? Oh, someone else with that one. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh,
Don't tell anybody that one in there.
Next time, guys, that just means the block out there.
Hey, Julie, did we have a winner? No winner. Wow, I think a few of them hit it. Folks, now roll over to the next game. Give our pitching staff a round of applause, helping out the interns, picking up the 70-plus tennis balls. Thanks, guys. Starting it off, number 28, Sam Wilson.
Bottom 6, 6-0 ball game. The Settlers trail the Hamilton Joes. Top of the order due up for Licking County. Sam Wilson, Miguel Pimentel, and Dylan Ott. Grant Williams back on the mound as Wilson starts it off with a flare into left field, and the left fielder Compton coming on and making the play. Wilson still looking for his first hit tonight. His hit streak at 8 games. So he begins the bottom of the 6th inning with a fly out to left field. Bring Miguel Pimentel to the batter's box now. Pimentel also does not have a hit. He has a 5-game hit streak right now. He walked in the 1st inning and hit into a double play in the 3rd. Just saw our biggest tennis ball toss of the season as Williams comes with that big hook for strike 1. 70-plus tennis balls being thrown by a bunch of youngsters behind the left field fence. It took all of our interns and basically all of our bullpen as Pimentel fouls it off to the left side. No balls and 2 strikes. About our entire bullpen to pick all those tennis balls up. Did not have a winner. 70-plus throws, no winners. The pot will roll over to the next game. So if you're listening, can make it out to the next game, you have a big payout if you're able to get that tennis ball in the ring. Curveball, swing and a miss by Miguel Pimentel, and he will go down swinging. That's strikeout number 5 on the day for Williams as he continues to cruise. Licking County, no answer for the right-hander from Middle Tennessee State University. Dylan Ott to the batter's box now. Ott also 0 for 2 today. Line out to short in the 1st and a strikeout victim in the 4th. Ott rolls this one to the shortstop. McConnell scoops and throws and fires for out number 3. That will be 7 straight retired by Grant Williams. A very quick bottom of the 6th inning. He threw 5 pitches to Licking County and gets out of the 6th inning. Licking County scoreless once again. As we go to the 7th, they trail 6-0.
The winning number is 1, 2, 8. 1, 6, 6. 1, 2, 8. 1, 6, 6. Look at that. Look at one of our host families winner today. Grace's host family, Steve and Valerie Deidre. That is very fitting for tonight's thing that we have with Grace going home. Grace might get some pizza tonight. Congratulations.
Johnny Putnam will be back out on the mound here in the top of the 7th inning. This will be Putnam's 5th inning of work out of the bullpen. We'll have 4, 5, and 6. Joes try to add on to their 6-0 lead. Chandler Miller, the second baseman, starting off with a foul ball to the backstop off Putnam. Curveball misses outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Miller has faced Putnam twice tonight, and he's 0 for 2, one of the only Joes without a hit today. So he takes on the inside this time for a ball, 2 balls, and 1 strike to the righty Miller. Foul out of play to the right side, 2 balls and 2 strikes for the Panama City Beach, Florida native. My host family went down to Florida this past week. They went to Destin on vacation, sent me a picture of the beach today. Very jealous, I can tell you that. Never a bad time for the beach. Here's a 2-2. This one is a hit off the plate. That took a weird hop. Actually ricocheted right into the settler dugout on the third base side. Not sure what that bounced off of. But I tell you what, the only thing just below the beach is definitely a baseball game. So I'm not doing too bad, as that's going to be ball number 4. First walk given up today by Johnny Putnam. his 5th inning of work. Leadoff man will reach 43rd consecutive inning. Last 2 innings, 2 runs have come across the score for the Hamilton Joes. Johnny Putnam trying to avoid that here today. Jared Kaufman, the third baseman, in the batter's box now. Kaufman also does not have a hit tonight against Putnam, 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch by Luke Torbert, a ground out and a strikeout against Putnam. Curveball, this one flared out of play. It'll stay in play, but in foul ground to the right side for strike number 1. Johnny able to jump all over Jared Kaufman. That was the problem in the last inning, was Johnny Putnam getting behind, it seemed like nearly every hitter. Had 4 consecutive hitters where he started off with a 1-0 count. 3 of those hitters reached base. 0-1. This one outside, good block by Adam Mays. 1 ball and 1 strike. One now from Putnam, out of play this time to the right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the right hitter hitting third baseman. Kaufman 3 for his last 18. 2 of those 3 hits came last night. So he's been struggling a bit as of late, batting right around .220 on the season. Here's the 1-2. This one popped up in the infield. Jackson Kerb will give chase and settle under it for out number 1. Putnam now able to retire Kaufman for the 3rd time. That'll bring Michael Hall to the dish now. Hall, the right-handed hitting catcher from the University of Montevideo. Hall has a hit. He started off the 6th inning with a double and would later score his first 2 at-bats, 2 strikeouts looking. So he was able to bounce back last time against Johnny Putnam. Putnam from the stretch, runner over on first base in Chandler Miller. 1 out, top of the 7th. So he gets a swing. Tried to check his swing was Michael Hall, but unable to keep that barrel behind home plate. And home plate umpire Mike Oppenheimer right on top of that one to call it a strike on the swing by Hall. It was a curveball in the dirt by Putnam, but deceiving enough to Michael Hall. 0-1, runner goes, fouled off. And Miller will have to go back to first base. We haven't seen a stolen base attempt yet tonight by the Hamilton Joes. They were 1 for 2 last night. They are 60 for 73 on the season, right around 82%. You'd be hard-pressed to find any team in the entire league that isn't in either the 80 or the 90% range. A lot of teams have really good success running. 1-2, swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says our base umpire, Grant Hutchinson. And for the 3rd time, Michael Hall goes down on strikes. If he comes up again, we'll have a chance for the Golden Sombrero. Almost had one against Cincinnati. Forget the name of the hitter. I'll have to go back in my notes. It's Bailey Montoya. Had 3 strikeouts in his first 3 at-bats. His next 3 had 2 hits and a ground out. He was able to avoid it. We'll see if Michael Hall comes up again. But for now, it'll be Anthony Bell with 2 outs. Bell 1 for 3 today. Had a single in the 2nd inning against Johnny Putnam, however. He's 0 for 2. Runner goes again. Throw a strike. Mays down to second base and in time. Adam Mays 2 for 3 throwing runners out in this series. Threw it from his knees as Chandler Miller is cut down trying to steal the 2-4 putout. That will end the top of the 7th inning. A 0 thrown up on the scoreboard by Johnny Putnam. 3rd one he's put up. Settlers come to bat. They trail 6-0.
All right, folks. If you know the words, sing along. If you don't, be quiet. I'll ruin it for the person next to you. Take me out to the ball game. 1, 2, 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ground. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if
.6 ball game here. Hamilton Joes lead the Licking County Settlers. Joe 6 runs on 9 hits, no errors. Licking County, no runs, only 1 hit. And they also have 1 error. Licking County hasn't gotten much going offensively. So I'm trying to count right now. Have the 1 base hit. 5 total base runners in this game. As I mentioned kind of earlier tonight, reminiscent of game number 1 between these two teams, a 5-0 victory for the Hamilton Joes. They only allowed 5 base runners on the game. 1 of those made it to second base. That's kind of the same thing we've seen here tonight. Big curveball to start off. Garrett Roberts taken for a strike. Just waiting for Licking County hitters. Just recognize that curveball out of the hand of Williams and take a big hack as Roberts tried to do there, but no contact. No balls and 2 strikes. Roberts 0 for 1. Hit by pitch in the first and a strikeout swinging in the fourth. 0-2. Taken in the dirt. Good eye by Garrett. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The big right-hander from Utica, Ohio. Garrett batting a touch under 300 on the season. Had a real good stretch where he was seeing the ball real well. I want to say he got up into 320, maybe the 330s, his batting average, but has fallen off a bit since then. 1-2, this one flown out to left field, sinking line drive. It will get down and past the diving Compton as Roberts will hold that first base for the second hit of the day by the Settlers. Compton thought he might have a beat on it. Roberts didn't hit that hard by any stretch of the imagination, but put it in the right spot as Licking County's second hit on the game. Last time they had a base hit, it was to start off the second inning by Turner Hill. He would later be retired on the 6-4-3 double play. Nathan Dill will be the batter now. Dill 0 for 1 today. Flew out to right in the first inning and walked in the fourth. Maybe Licking County put up a couple runs here and get to Grant Williams. This one rolled over to the shortstop, McConnell. 6-4 and now 3 double play. So once again, Licking County gets their leadoff man aboard in a 6-4-3 double play, negates it. Dill getting jammed with the fastball on the inside. That's the 3rd double play of the night for the Hamilton Joes. And that's really just an inning killer and a rally killer. You finally get a guy on. Now you look up at the scoreboard, 2 outs and nobody on. Turner Hill will be the batter now. He's 1 for 2. Had the first hit of the game as he takes fastball inside for ball 1. Also has flown out to center field. 1-0. This one hit hard into left center gap, tailing towards left fielder Compton, and he will make the catch. So once again, an unconventional 1-2-3 inning for Grant Williams, and he has been masterful here tonight, holding Licking County to only 2 hits and 6 total base runners. We will now go to the 8th. 6-0 lead for the Hamilton Joes. Anthony Bell back at the dish now for the Hamilton Joes. He was at the plate to end the 7th inning as Chandler Miller was caught stealing. So Bell back up 0 for 2, excuse me, 1 for 3, 0 for 2 against Johnny Putnam. First pitch, check swing, and taken for a strike. Bell had a single against Luke Torbert. He would also score a run in the 2nd inning. So he takes this time high for a ball, 1 ball, and 1 strike against Putnam. Putnam came in relief to start the 3rd inning. Cruised through the first 2, struggled in the 5th and the 6th, got back to form. That one taken for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike, maybe the count now. Taken for a strike. There we go. Yep, 2-2. A little bit of a mix-up between my book and the scoreboard. We're all good now. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the first batter of the 8th inning in Anthony Bell. Checked his swing. No, he did not, says Grant Hutcherson. The count will now go full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Bell. Putnam from the windup. Here it is. Payoff pitch. Hit high into left field. Dylan Ott going back. He's right in front of the warning track. Looks like he'll settle under it and make the catch for out number 1 here to begin the 8th inning. You take out the 5th and 6th innings. Johnny Putnam's been real good. He up 2 runs in each the 5th and the 6th. And extended that 2-0 lead that he came in trying to hold that. It's the most earned runs he's given up all season. It ties it. Well, the number 9 hitter Tyler Thaman takes for strike number 1. Fastball in the outside corner. I know we're experiencing some streaming issues tonight. I tried to do some research today. Thought I might have fixed it. Thaman swings through that pitch for strike 2. But just kind of checking on it, it looks like we're still experiencing some buffering issues, connection problems. We're not sure what more we can do. 3 pitches and 3 strikes. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night as Johnny Putnam strikes out his 5th batter of this game. A strong start here to the 8th. Just can't quite find some run support from the offense. We'll bring the top of the order in Trey Compton to the batter's box now. Compton 3 for 3 tonight. Has 2 hits off of Johnny Putnam. Led off the 5th with a double, scored a run and singled in the 6th. That pitch low for ball 1. Compton, Mount Prospect, Illinois. That's about, we'll say, 35-40 minutes from where I live, so the northern part of Illinois, kind of near the city. Which misses up and away. 2 balls and no strikes to leadoff hitter and right-handed batter Trey Compton. 2-0 fouled back, 4 strike 1. We might have played Prospect a couple times in baseball. Wouldn't imagine Compton, well, he might have been actually on that team, so we actually might have played each other. 3 balls, 1 strike. He'll be a senior this next year. I just graduated, so thinking that's about a year difference. So yeah, he very well could have been the Prospect team. I think we beat him twice in 2 years. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. That's ball number 4 as Compton walks for the 2nd time today, but has reached base 5 times. Has a 400 on base percentage that will surely go up after this game. As he reaches with 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. Justin McConnell, the batter now. McConnell does not have a hit. He has been on base once. Reached on an error in the 6th. It was an RBI. As he knocked in at Tyler Thaman. That was the last run that the Hamilton Joes scored. First pitch, low and outside for ball number 1 as Putnam starts off behind in the count. McConnell and his other bats sacrifice bunt, a strikeout, and a flyout. Doesn't necessarily hit the ball very well today, which we've seen a lot of batters for the Joes have hit the ball very hard. Joes have 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Licking County, no runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. The 1-0. That one misses low in the strike zone for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to McConnell. But I'm trying to keep this ball game right where it's at as darkness nearly upon us. Still a little bit light out. Obviously the lights are on here at Don Edwards Park, but not quite nighttime as that one gets past the glove of Mays. And Compton will advance on the pass ball. Mays thought he had that one, didn't even initially react to it as it got past his glove through the wickets and to the backstop. That will put a runner on second base, 3-0 count to the right-handed hitting shortstop McConnell. Putnam retired the first two batters, no problem. Bell on a flyout and Thaman on the strikeout. Now struggling to get that out, number 3. Finally swinging is McConnell, fouls it out of play to the right side. 2 outs was the biggest issue for Licking County in yesterday's game. 6 out of 7 runs scored by the Joes all came with 2 outs, including a 5-run 4th inning. That all came with 2 outs. 3-1 now. Fouled off out of play to the right side once again. Count now going to full as Putnam bounces back after throwing 3 straight balls out of the strike zone. Now comes back with 2 strikes. So he looks for yet another strikeout. Has 5 on the game, looking for number 6. Putnam always high in strikeout numbers. Has walked 2 today. Payoff pitch outside for ball number 4. Back-to-back walks with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. We'll bring up Griffin Dorshing. Dorshing has only 1 hit today, but it was a big one. A 410, 420-foot home run to just right of the flagpoles out in straight away center field. I believe it landed on the batting cage beyond the McDonald's M logo on the wall. So he comes up with 2 men aboard with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Putnam starts him off with a fastball in the inside corner for strike 1. Dorshing 1 for 3. Hit by pitch in the first inning on an 0-2 pitch by Luke Torbert. Has a ground out and then an infield fly in his last at-bat. He's 1 for 2 against Johnny Putnam tonight. 0-1. Low and outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 6'4", 275-pound Greendale, Wisconsin native. Teammates with Brendan Alas at Northern Kentucky University. He was the freshman of the year in the Horizon League. Batted .243, had 49 RBIs. He fouls a fastball back to the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Putnam needs 1 more. We'll see if he goes to the curveball. That's been the pitch that has been a struggle for Griffin Dorshing against the Licking County Settlers. Only 3 hits against Licking County, 2 home runs and a double. So when he gets a hold of one, he will hit it a very long way. Griffin also all-freshman team by Collegiate Baseball. Time is called. We will await the 1-2. 2 outs, 2 runners on, 6-0 ball game. Hamilton leads Licking County. Hamilton trying to stay right in the playoff hunt. Trying to sweep the season series. 1-2 fouled out of play, and Dorshing will stay alive. Coming in to today, Hamilton on the outside looking in of the playoff picture. They are right behind Galeon in the standings. They trail Galeon by a game and a half. Galeon lost game 1 today as Dorshing hits this one, a frozen rope into the left center gap. That will get down. Compton coming around to score. They're going to hold McConnell as Dorshing with another double goes in standing up and another RBI. 7-0 the score now after Dorshing tattoos that ball in a left center gap. It didn't actually get to the wall, but that was enough for Dorshing. 4th hit against the Settlers. 2 home runs and 2 doubles as Robbie Howell has seen enough from Johnny Putnam. He will make the call to the pen after Dorshing gets him again. Putnam going to hand the ball off to Howell and depart this ball game. Not a bad outing for Putnam out of the pen, but the Joe's bat's just too hot as we will get a new pitcher. We'll have that name for you when we come back. 7-0 ball game, top 8 here from Don Edwards Park.
38, Spencer Berger.
Spencer Berg in the ball game now for Licking County as Johnny Putnam exits after 5 2/3 innings of work out of the pen. He's given up 5 runs thus far and leaves 2 more on for Spencer Berg. Berg will come in with 2 outs. This will be his 10th appearance on the season. He has a 1-2 record. His first pitch to Chris Hamilton, taken high for a ball. Berg 10th appearance, 10.65 ERA. He's thrown 12 2/3, 14 strikeouts, 11 walks, and 25 hits. For the big lefty from Gahanna, Ohio, as he throws another ball in the outside corner. 2 balls and no strikes to the left-handed hitting Chris Hamilton. This one ropes into right field. This one's got a chance, hooking towards the foul pole, and foul off the wall. Just missed, nearly hitting a home run. It was about 4 feet to the right of the foul pole, hit right off the wall, right above that white logo. Not sure what the logo is, just in foul territory on the wall, but hit right above it. Hamilton actually might have broken his bat on that. So he hit that one at 310 feet and broke his bat. That is quite impressive. So he'll be the first batter to face up against Spencer Berg. Berg making his first appearance since July the 6th against the Cincinnati Steam. Misses high with the fastball, 3 balls and a strike now. Hamilton does own 2 hits on the day. He is 2 for 4 with an RBI. Also had a strikeout to end the 6th against Johnny Putnam. 3-1, that one misses. Had to check and make sure it was ball 4, and it is. 3rd walk of the inning given up by Licking County pitchers, and that will load the bases for Chandler Miller. Chandler Miller, one of the only bats in the lineup without a hit. Him and the next batter, Jared Kaufman, the only 2 batters without base hits in this ball game. Justin McConnell does not have one either. He reached on an error and a walk. Berg starts off with a strike to Chandler Miller. Miller 0 for 3, strikeout, pop up, a line out, and a walk. Swings through that pitch from Spencer Berg, and Berg jumps ahead, no balls and 2 strikes, just trying to hold this one, and right at a 7-0 ball game. Honestly, at this point, it feels like 20-0 as Licking County has done absolutely nothing on the offensive end, only 2 hits. Tanks inside for ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Berg going from the windup. Here's the 1-2. Taken high for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's right-handed bat in Miller. Two offering outside for ball number 3. Now Spencer Berg in danger of walking in a run. Here's a 3-2. This one grounded to Pena at shortstop. Runner's got a head start, so his only play is to first, and caught by Nathan Dill to retire the side. So Berg comes in, faces two batters, walks them to get the bases loaded, then retires Miller on the 6-3 ground out. Settlers, two more chances at the plate. They trail this one 7-0. Grant Williams back out on the mound once again for the Hamilton Joes, and he's been near perfect. Tonight he's allowed 2 base hits, 2 walks, and 2 hit by pitches. 6 total base runners for Licking County. He has induced 3 double plays to get him out of a couple innings. 7-8-9 for Licking County. Jackson Curb hit by a pitch. Third hits bat spin tonight by Grant Williams. And once again, leadoff man aboard for the Settlers. They haven't been able to do much with that tonight. Third time tonight they do get the leadoff man aboard. Last 2 times, double plays. So we'll see if Licking County maybe gets somebody to second base. They had Pimentel on second in the first inning. That's been the only guy to reach past first base. Adam Mays the batter now as we check on Curb over at first. And he slides back in safely. Adam Mays 0 for 2. Ground out and a strikeout as Licking County just about to wrap up their 3rd time through the order. Hamilton has been to the plate 5 times for the majority of their hitters as Mays takes fastball for strike number 1. By far the longest outing of the season for Grant Williams. His previous high was 3 innings against Galeon, a 14-5 victory back on June the 29th. This 8th inning. Mays hits this one right back up the middle on the line. Caught by the shortstop McConnell, and he will double off Jackson Curb over at first base. Another double play. It's a 4th double play turned, albeit that one a little bit unconventional as Mays lines out to the shortstop. And then the 6-3 put out. Well, once again, very quickly put 2 outs up on the board. And the number 9 hitter in Eddie Pena will come to bat. Pena flew out to center field in the 3rd and struck out looking in the 5th. Williams 5 strikeouts here today, Pena being one of those. First pitch to Eddie. This one hit high and deep into left field. This one going back, it's got a chance. And that ball is gone, says the home plate umpire. Just hooking it around the left field foul pole. Eddie Pena, for the first time this season, goes deep. And Licking County finally on the scoreboard here in the bottom of the 8th inning as Eddie Pena goes deep to left field off the bat. You thought it had a chance, but it wasn't sure if it was going to stay fair. Mark Oppenheimer right on that one. And he singled it would be fair. And the first run of the ball game for Licking County finally got that monkey off its back. So we'll see if maybe this opens it up for them now. It's Eddie Pena. First home run, 11th RBI. Sam Wilson into the batter's box now. Takes low for a ball. Sam needs a hit to extend his 8-game hitting streak. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Ground out, a pop-up, and a hit by pitch. He lines this one right at the second baseman in Miller to end the 8th inning. Wilson hits it on the nose, but unfortunately somebody's there. Licking County finally hops on the scoreboard. They will be down to its final 3 outs, but first going to have to hold Hamilton scoreless. We go to the 9th. It's a 7-1 ball game, Joe's lead. Final frame here between the Hamilton Joes and the Licking County Settlers, unless Licking County can put up a 6 spot in the bottom half of the 9th. This one will be the final inning we'll see between these two teams on the season. Hamilton leads the Settlers 7-1. Spencer Burke on the mound for Licking County. 6, 7, 8 in the batting order for the Joes as he starts off. Jared Kaufman with a strike on the outside corner. Berg entered in the 8th inning with 2 outs and 2 runners aboard, walked Hamilton, then induced a 6-3 ground ball to end the 8th inning. So that pitch lined right back up the middle as Kaufman is on board with his first base hit of this ball game. So the list shrinks now to 2 batters for Hamilton that do not have a base hit as Kaufman starts off the top of the 9th with a single. Michael Hall, the catcher, now will be up. Hall in danger of the elusive golden sombrero. Hall 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, 2 looking, and 1 swing. So this will be interesting. See if Licking County can maybe force the golden sombrero, but it won't happen as this ball lifted into shallow center field. Long run for Hill. He will not be able to make the play. Back-to-back singles, and Hall avoids the golden sombrero. It's the second time this season Licking County has been close to getting it on another hitter, but once again they falter. Berg now in a jam. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Thrown 3 pitches, 2 singles allowed. Anthony Bell, the batter now. Anthony also 1 for 4. But a single and a run scored in the second. Since then, 2 flyouts and a ground out. Time is called, I believe that was by the catcher, Adam Mays. Tell you what, Settlers could really use a ground ball right here, double play. They've fallen victim to 4 double plays today on the other end. Finally able to break through and score a run off the home run by Eddie Pena. Pena going deep. Fastball low to Anthony Bell for ball number 1. Let's take a look around the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. Take a look-see at the scoreboard here, see what's happening amongst the other teams. As Bell takes this time for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Games going on right now. Lima leads 5-4 against Saginaw in the top of the 9th inning. Lima, of course, leads the Northern Division. This ball grounded to the left side. Pimentel to start the double play, and he will throw it into right field. An error by Miguel Pimentel. That will score 1. That was an easy double play ball. That one ended up nowhere near second base. Pimentel tried to sidearm it. Jared Kaufman will score. That will make it an 8-1 ball game. Michael Hall moved over into third base. So that will be runners at the corners. Thought that might be a double play ball, but the error by Pimentel will keep this inning alive. 8-1 ball game in the top of the 9th. Batter Tyler Thaman starts off with a ball. Thaman 1 for 3, a sacrifice, bunt, a flyout, a strikeout, and a double. Swing and a miss now by Thaman. 1 ball and 1 strike. Back to the scoreboard. Grand Lake had 12 runs through the first 3 innings. They lead 14-2 in the top of the 8th. Richmond on top of Xenia. Scouts down to their final at bat as that pitch misses up and out. 2 balls and a strike. Xenia trails Richmond 7-3 in the top of the 9th. Cincinnati back on top of Southern Ohio. Copperheads were up 6-1 at one point. Cincinnati now leads 7-6 in a battle between the top 2 leaders in the Southern Division. This ball hit out of play to the right side. That'll move the count out of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cincinnati leads 7-6 in the bottom of the 7th. Up in Irish Hills, Leprechauns lead the Clippers 13-7 in the bottom of the 5th. Game 2 of a doubleheader between Galen and St. Clair. St. Clair up 5-3 in the top of the 8th. Berg just misses the outside corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. That's actually big for Hamilton, as the Graders would go to 12-14. Hamilton hanging on will go to 12-15, as that'll be ball number 4. A walk given up by Spencer Berg will now load the bases. And with no outs in the top of the 9th inning, Joe's coming around its lineup for the 6th time today as a leadoff batter in Trey Compton will come to the dish. Compton 3 for 3 with 2 walks, 2 singles, a double, a run scored, and an RBI. First pitch taken for a strike by Spencer Berg. Joes have just had Licking County's number. I guess most teams in this league have had Licking County's number. As Compton skies this one into shallow right field. Wilson doesn't see it. Curb going out. I believe it was Wilson. No, Curb makes the catch. Nobody will tag up. Wilson was coming in slowly. Curb saw it the entire way. They both stuck their gloves up, and it was Curb that was able to take it away from Wilson. I believe Wilson would have been in position to make that play, but I don't think he saw that one off the bat. We've seen a number of times this season outfielders just haven't picked the ball up very well off the bats of batters for whatever reason. The lights or the backdrop, whatever. But that's a big out. Number 1 is the number 2 hitter, and Justin McConnell fouls one off and out of play. Nathan Dill at first place playing on the cutout of the infield grass. Everybody else seems to be in normal depth. Middle's pinched a little bit near second base to try to turn a double play. A 1-pitch curveball on the outside corner for strike number 2, and Berg on top, no balls and 2 strikes. Darkness has fallen as we approach 9:30 here tonight. That pitch lined down the right field line, hooking foul, and it will get foul and out of play. Count stays no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 8-1 ball game between the Hamilton Joes and the Licking County Settlers. Hamilton 3-0 against Licking County on the season. Here's the 0-2. That one in the dirt, going to get away from Mays and roll towards the dugout of the Hamilton Joes. That will score another run. Everybody moving up 90 feet. 9th run of the game scored. Bell will go to 3rd, and Thaman will go to 2nd. As it actually might have gone into the dugout, so another run will score. Anthony Bell will score the 10th run, and Thaman will go to 3rd. I thought Mays was able to grab that one before It made it into the dugout, but apparently not, says Mark Oppenheimer, home plate umpire. 10-1 ball game now. 1-2, that one misses inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The right-handed hitting McConnell. Hamilton 10 runs, 13 hits, no errors. Licking County 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 errors. 2-2, that one misses outside for ball 3. Berg struggling to find the strike zone. So might walk his second batter of this inning and third of the game. Here's the payoff pitch. Hit right back up the middle. Pena is going to be there, and it's going to bounce off of him and go into center field. Another error by Eddie Pena. It's the second time on McConnell. That will score another run. Thaman comes around to score. And the inning continues to trudge on. 4 runs in this ball game, or excuse me, in this inning. That's the most of the ball game in 1 inning. It's 11-1 in the top of the 9th inning. Runner goes. Mays has no throw. That ball was in the dirt. McConnell goes into second with the stolen base. It's the first stolen base of the game for the Hamilton Joes. Mays was 1 for 1. He threw out his second runner stealing on the season. Griffin Dorshing, the batter now, takes for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to the big right-handed batter. Dorshing 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, a double and a home run. He was also hit by a pitch today. He stares down Spencer Berg. 1-1 taken for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Here's the 1-2. Curveball outside. Not going to get the call is Berg. That will even the count at 2. Dorshing, the 7th batter this inning. It's been a lot of long innings for the Licking County pitching staff. So 2-2. Outside once again, ball number 3. Berg has walked a batter already this inning. Here's a 3-2. Fouled off as Dorshing will stay alive against lefty Spencer Berg. Berg did pitch against the Joes in a game number 2 up in Hamilton. Only went 2/3 of an inning. Actually got the loss in that game as he misses outside for ball 4. Second walk of this inning given up by Spencer Berg. Runners at first and second base with 1 out. I would imagine that it's going to be Berg's game to finish. So you really just don't want to waste any pitchers. Settlers have 2 games tomorrow against Saginaw. Those games were supposed to be at home. Since there's a big tournament this weekend here at Don Edwards Park, they were moved to Fort Wayne, Indiana, as Chris Hamilton starts off with the ball low in the dirt. So we'll need, Licking County's going to need every pitcher they can get for this series. They have 2 tomorrow. They'll have an off day on Friday. Berg bounces back with a strike. And then head up to Muskegon Saturday and Sunday. I believe they're going to stay overnight for that one. 2 games against Clippers on an off day Monday. All-Star game, I believe, will be Tuesday. Foul ball out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Berg misses up. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to the lefty in Chris Hamilton. Hamilton was the first batter that Spencer Berg faced in the 8th inning, and Hamilton was able to draw a walk to load the bases in a very similar spot here in the 9th now. So here's the 2-2. That one frozen rope to right field. That one will get down and bounce up to Sam Wilson. They will hold the runner at third base as it will be cut off by Nathan Dill, and that will load the bases. Chris Hamilton aboard for the 4th time today and the 3rd single. Dorshing goes to second, and McConnell over to third base. Chandler Miller represents the 9th batter in the 9th inning for the Hamilton Joes. They lead Licking County Settlers by a score of 11-1. Spencer Berg on the mound. Chandler Miller looking for his first base hit tonight. First pitch misses inside. Ball 1. Miller 0 for 4, strikeout, a pop-up, a lineup, a ground ball, and a walk. So he's done just about everything. Tries to get hit by a pitch and a base hit as he misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. This inning started off with back-to-back singles, an error, a walk, a pop-up. Finally a strike is thrown by Berg. Another error, a walk, and a single. That's been your 9th inning recap. As there's another base hit. That'll be an RBI single into left field. They're going to hold Dorshing at third base as McConnell will score the 12th run of the game. Everybody moving up 90 feet, and the hit parade continues now as the Hamilton Joes have batted around here in the 9th inning. A 5 spot put up by the Joes as they build on its lead already. Jared Kaufman coming up for the 2nd time in this inning. He singled to begin this inning and scored what back then was the 8th run of the ball game. Berg starts him off with a ball outside. Joes have just been all over lefty Spencer Berg. So every ball seems to be hit right on the nose. Misses inside now, 2 balls and no strikes. Here's a 2-0. Outside, ball number 3. Berg in danger of walking in a run. You can tell he's frustrated with himself on the mound. Here's 3-0. One called strike might have been the beneficiary of a call there. Umpires might be expanding strike zone just a little bit. Here's a 3-1. That one flown out into center field. Turner Hill will get behind it, and Griffin Dorshing will tag up and come in to score. Sacrifice fly for Jared Kaufman as Griffin Dorshing will score the 13th run of the game. All the other runners will hold at their respective bases. 13-1 in the top of the 9th inning. 6 runs have come across to score in this 9th inning. Michael Hall, the batter now for the Hamilton Joes. He swings through a fastball by Spencer Berg. 4 strike 1. Michael Hall has 2 hits. He singled earlier this inning, so another chance at the Golden Sombrero for the Settlers. There's some silver lining as there's strike number 2. 1 strike away from 4 strikeouts tonight for the catcher Michael Hall. It's a small victories. It's a 13-1 game. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. There it is. 4 strikeouts on the night for Michael Hall as he will wear the Golden Sombrero. There it is. But the Joes put a 6 spot up in the 9th inning, and they extend its lead 13-1. Settlers down to their final 3 outs as we go to the bottom of the 9th.
Starting your setters off the bottom of the ninth, number 30, Miguel Pimentel.
Grant Williams will be back out on the mound as he goes for his first complete game of the season. He'll have to go through Pimentel, Ott, and Roberts as Miguel takes low in the dirt for ball number 1. Williams, allowing 3 hits on the day, he's forced 4 double plays. Pimentel grounds a foul towards the Settler dugout. 3 hits, 3 hit by pitches, and 2 walks. Also gave up a home run to Eddie Pena. That's the only run that Licking County has been able to put up as Pimentel. It looked like a slider by Williams. A slider or 2-seam as that had some cut to it. Got him right under the hands of Pimentel. He's down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pimentel fouls this one off out of play to the right side. Dorshin giving chase, but he will run out of room. And Pimentel will stay alive. Pimentel does not have a hit tonight. He's 0 for 2. Had a walk in the first, grounded a double play in the third, and struck out in the 6th. He has a 5-game hit streak on the line. Sam Wilson's hit streak did end unless he's able to come up once again in this inning. Pimentel has a 4-game hit streak in jeopardy. Ott has a 4-game hit streak in jeopardy. Pimentel has a 5-game. Turner Hill extended his to 7 earlier as Pimentel calls time. Here's the 1-2. One low. That one might have got a piece of our home plate umpire, Mark Oppenheimer, as Hall tried to jump up and block that one. That was a fastball that bounced right in front of home plate. Hall tried to get a piece of it. That might have actually gone between his legs and caught maybe the thigh or right near the knee as Robbie Howell goes and checks on the home plate umpire. Going to talk to Miguel Pimentel as well. 2 balls and 2 strikes for the right-handed Dominican Republic native. Miguel will be headed to the All-Star game on Tuesday. One of 3 Licking County settlers elected to the game. That'll be at Prasco Park in Mason, Ohio. Pimentel fouls it off once again. It says right here on the website, that must have been catcher's interference. I would guess as Pimentel headed to first base. That's the only thing I can think of, is that was catcher's interference called. So we'll say catcher's interference as Pimentel will be on board for the 2nd time today to lead off the bottom of the 9th inning. Dylan Ott comes to the plate now. Ott also hitless today, 0 for 3. A line out, a ground out, and a strikeout for the Wisconsin Oshkosh Titan. So he hits this ball hard into the left center gap, but going to hang up long enough for the left fielder Compton to slide and make the catch. I thought Thaman, the center fielder, had a better beat on that one, but Compton called him off. That's something you don't see every day. A left fielder calling off a center fielder. But if he gets the job done, it really doesn't matter. So Ott will see his 4-game hit streak end here tonight at the hands of Grant Williams, the right-hander from Middle Tennessee State. 1 out. Bottom of the 9th inning, 13-1 ball game. Pimentel over on first. Garrett Roberts at the dish. Roberts, big hack. Did not get any contact. I would imagine in a blowout much like this one, Garrett Roberts will be taking bigger hacks than normal. Made fun of me the one time out in Xenia. He'd hit 1 home run. That was the go-ahead home run in the 9th inning. I made mention that he was trying to hit another one. You made a comment about it. I was like, well, you did, and you ended up getting it out. So probably actually trying to hit one hard here as he does. This one into left center field. This time Thaman going to call off Compton, and he will retire. Roberts goes out right in front of the warning track in Licking County down to its final out in the bottom of the 9th. Nathan Dill digging into the batter's box now. Dill 0 for 2, flew out to right in the first, walked in the 4th, and grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the 7th. First pitch to Dill He bloops this one over the first baseman Dorsching's head. It will get down. Nathan Dill on board with his first hit of the baseball game. It's not about how hard you hit it, it's just about where you hit it. And Dill did just that. Gets fisted and puts it right over Dorsching's head. Had Dorsching been off the base, I think he might have been holding Pimentel on first. Had he been off of first base, he might have actually been able to make that play, but a longer run because he was holding the runner in Pimentel on. I'm not sure why you would, up 13-1, but hey, there's 2 runners on for Licking County for the second time today. Turner Hill, the batter now. First pitch of Turner Hill taken outside for ball 1. Turner does have a hit here tonight. He's 1 for 3. Extended his 6-game hitting streak now to 7 games. Singled in the second inning, his first at-bat. Was later retired on a double play as he fouls out a play to the left side. 1 ball and 1 strike to left-handed batter from Marietta, Ohio. Here's the 1-1. Low and outside for ball 2. Haven't seen Turner walk at all tonight. It's kind of just been his MO. Last 5 games, he has 5 walks. He's 8 for his last 24. So he hits this one hard right back up the middle. It's not going to hang up, and that will be an RBI as Pimentel will be waved around from third base. Throw cut off, and not in time. That play was actually a little bit closer than I thought it would be. Pimentel kind of stuttered around third base, but Turner Hill, with his second hit of the ball game, he has an RBI now, brings Pimentel around to score. We'll make it a 13-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Good at bat by Turner Hill as usual. Just kind of something we've come to expect. The Settlers stay alive here in the bottom of the 9th. Jackson Curb, the batter now. Curb does not have a hit tonight. Checks his swing, ball in the dirt. He did not go around, says our base umpire, Grant Hutcherson. Curb 0 for 2, grounded into a double play in the second. Flew out to right in the 5th and was hit by a pitch in the 8th. Curb looking for his 3rd hit of the season. Swing and a miss on the fastball by Grant Williams. Curb was 2 for 5 in his last game against Irish Hills. Coming in to that game, he was 0 for 15 on the season. Battling some arm issues, coming off Tommy John. He's trying to get some reps here in the Great Lakes League as he takes inside for a strike. Settlers now down to its final strike here against the Hamilton Joes. Joes primed to win 4 games against Licking County this season. Here's the 1-2. Curveball misses outside as Williams started walking off the mound thinking he had ended the ball game. Williams does have 5 strikeouts here tonight. There's more strikeouts than hits allowed. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners aboard, bottom of the 9th. Here it is. This one skewered down the first base line. My baseline's mixed up, but foul as Jackson Curb will stay alive. Hit that one pretty hard past the first base coach, John McCauley. McCauley always having a good time out there. 2-2 outside for ball 3. Runners will be getting a head start off the base pass, so Jackson Curb can't put this one past the infielders. Nathan Dill very well could score from second base. Settlers trying to rally. Payoff pitch. Here it is. Curb sticks his bat out, flicks it into shallow right field. Second baseman in Miller coming on, and he will make the catch as Licking County will fall to 6-21 on the season. On the other hand, Hamilton now moves to 13-15, finds himself right in the thick of things. We'll actually see what Galen did in the second game. Let's say if Galen loses both of these. Top of the 8th, St. Clair up 5-3 on Galen. If Galen were to lose, Hamilton would find themselves, I believe, in the 3rd spot, and that would put them in a playoff spot. Final stat line from tonight, a 13-2 ball game. Hamilton takes the victory. Luke Torbert, no, will be Johnny Putnam actually will take the loss in this one. And then Grant Williams goes the distance. He goes 9 innings, gives up 2 runs, both of those being earned. Only gave up 4 base hits, struck out 5, 2 walks, and 3 hit by pitches, and he will get the victory. Moves to 2-0 on the season. Both victories coming against Licking County. Licking County just couldn't get anything offensively going against them. A lot of long innings for these Hamilton hitters. They pounded out 14 hits on the night and also were the beneficiary of 3 errors by Licking County. Licking County has a doubleheader tomorrow out at Indiana Tech University against Saginaw, the Sugar Beets. They will play 2 tomorrow, have Friday off, then be up in Muskegon. We will not have any of those games broadcasting for you guys, but we'll be back in action on Wednesday when the Settlers take on Southern Ohio. Once again, final score 13-2 here from Don Edwards Park.